Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ultraverse podcast with Chase and Casey, where we talk about all things Ultraverse.
This is episode number 12, and we're going to talk about our experience at the Outlaw 135 this last weekend.
In Oklahoma.
Yes. It was a DNF for me, and we're going to get into the training leading up to that, the experience at the race, and kind of everything about it and where we go from here, I guess.
We also, before we get into that, wanted to apologize for not releasing an episode last week. We had the loss of our miniature schnauzer raider bug, who we had for over 17 years on Tuesday, and that's when we were planning to record the podcast, and obviously that just didn't happen. So thank you for understanding and giving us time and space to
It had
grieve.
nothing to do with the race coming up. It just didn't really want to do it. There's no way we could have got through it.
No.
We would have just been crying the whole time we were on the podcast, and you would have not enjoyed that.
You wouldn't have been fun unless you guys were into that.
We wouldn't have enjoyed it. If you would have enjoyed it, you're a sick bastard.
Okay.
But yeah, he was our best friend.
Yeah, and we miss him dearly, but we gave him a great life, so
yeah,
that's all you can do. But enough of the sad shit. Let's talk about Outlaw. So it was your...
Well, that's more sad shit.
That's less sad than Raider, so...
That's true.
My God.
That is true. Much less sad.
So Outlaw was your first race since the Triple Crown. And so you took all of 2025 off from racing.
Mm-hmm.
When did you sign up for Outlaw? I remember us talking about it.
Yeah, that's a good question. It was probably the middle of 2025, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, because I did want to take all of 2025 off because I was pretty burnt out after the Triple Crown on racing, I guess, and ultra running, really,
training
in
as
general.
Well. Yeah.
But after the Triple Crown, I continued to hike a lot, which has always been my favorite thing to do.
Right.
Love hiking. Yeah. And so it's not like I just sat on my ass after that and ate Twinkies.
As much as, no, you would hate doing that. You could do it for a day and then you would be done.
Yeah, I did that for like...
You did it for
actually about
weeks.
2 weeks after the Triple Crown.
Yeah, a lot of pizzas were delivered to the house.
A lot of pizzas were delivered. A lot of whiskey was drank.
And beer.
Yeah, and beer.
It was fun. We should do that again.
Yeah, most of the time I can't do that.
Yeah. But what made you decide to do Outlaw?
Well, I had heard about it from a lot of people. You know, I had heard that it was a really tough course. I knew that some of my friends, Kansas friends, were going to go do it. And I knew that there was only one guy that had finished the new course on the previous year. And so it really interested me for because of those things.
Right.
And it also interested me just because the Triple Crown's such huge races.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to get back to something a little smaller. You know, smaller race, smaller race vibe, you know, not that I don't like the big races. I do love those as well. But I do like to support the small races and people kind of like us, you know, in a way.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about your training. When did you actually really start training?
I'd say really started training after our race season ended.
In 2025?
Because I'm still trying to figure out the equation of training during the season.
And that's hard. When we're up for, say for Fred, the race is 100 hours. We don't get 8 hours of sleep a night. We're lucky if we get 4.
4? When have we ever got 4?
I know. That's what I'm saying. We're lucky if we get 4 hours.
And that's
of sleep
Fred.
a day.
I mean, that's an easy one.
That's logistically easy race, but you still have to be there and paying attention the whole time and making sure we're not missing scans. So it's not like it's just easy and you have all this energy.
No.
To go run. For myself, that's the last thing I want to do.
But I'm if you talk about Cowboy or something like that, we're talking about an hour, 2 hours of sleep a night.
Yes.
At those.
For sure. I mean, we're up for 30 hours for the first day of Cowboy.
But, you could figure it out. I don't do well in the week leading up to the races either, or the week right after the races. And part of it is just the lack of sleep and stuff like that, but won't get into that too much. It's just something that I need to figure out a little bit more. That being said, once I did start training hard,
Mhm.
After the race season was over, I had a fantastic training phase.
You did.
Fantastic.
Your body held up really well.
Yep. And, I lifted 4 times a week, strength trained 4 times a week. I did core exercises at least 3 times a week, and I kept track of all these sauna 4 or 5 times a week, injury prevention exercises, and, good mileage.
Mhm. Yeah. You had no issues really at all.
Mm-mm. Felt really good, felt really confident, and I had big goals for the race. I wanted to win the race. I'll just say it. I did.
Yeah.
And I wanted to set
Any of
the
course.
current course record, which I mean, the new course had only been there for a
A
year.
year.
You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
that's what I wanted to do. And 2 weeks out, I felt like I could absolutely do it, and I was confident that I would do it. I had a peak week right before. What was that? 2 weeks out? Two
Yeah.
weeks left after once the
Mhm.
peak
Yeah, 2
week
weeks
ended.
of tapering.
And I did a 135-mile peak week, and that might have been a little too much, but I just wanted that 135. I don't know why, because that was the distance of the race.
You just get things in your head, and that's what
And I
it
just felt
is.
like that would make me go in there mentally really ready. And that 135-mile week went fantastic.
Mhm. We had poopy weather that week for, like, the first time this year,
Yeah.
so you had to change your plan as far as where you were going to run.
Poopy weather for here,
For
though.
here, yeah.
Like, poopy weather for here and poopy weather for Oklahoma or shitty weather for Kansas, that's totally different.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
our
true.
weather was way better here than there.
Yeah, that's
That
that's
that whole
true.
week. We just had a little bit of snow where I couldn't really get to the higher elevations like I really wanted to and run on the trails that I typically run on. If I would have ran on the trails that I typically would have ran on in that 135 miles, I probably would have ended up with about 30 to 35,000 feet of gain.
Mhm.
Instead, it was about 20,
Yeah.
which is still good. But
Where they're at.
and then I had a recovery week the week before that, and the 2 weeks before that, I had about 90, 95-mile weeks that also went really well. And I came out of that peak week just with the thought that I'm better than I've been
Mhm.
for a very long time, if not ever.
I
You
think
know?
probably ever as far as
Yep. Preparation,
lifting
just
and
how
everything.
strong I felt. My legs never got tired on ups. Like I could just knock those out.
Mhm.
And 10 times better shape than I was when I entered the Triple Crown.
Mm.
I wasn't happy at all with how I entered the Triple Crown because I was coming off an injury and I really had 3 solid months of training for that.
Before Tahoe.
Nothing like what I had for this.
Yeah. Basically, Tahoe was really the only race that you could have even gone into trained up
Mhm.
because of our race schedule.
Yeah. And again, I just feel like that's kind of a little bit of an excuse on my part, but yeah, it was really tough for me to recover between the races. I
Mhm.
was just getting totally burnt out by
Yeah.
Bigfoot already.
Yeah. Anything else you want to hit on with your training?
No, training was just it was really, really good, and, like
You
I
also
said,
worked
2
on your
weeks out,
nutrition a lot, like
yeah,
in race
yeah,
nutrition.
yeah. I did the sweat rate thing, which I try to do before all my races, and I dialed that in, and I did gut training on my peak week and everything. I used Proxima C, and that's what I planned on using the entire race, which is what I did, and that was one of the we'll get into it when we talk about the race, but one
Mhm.
of the only perfect things
Mhm.
for the whole thing,
Yeah.
and so that was dialed in as well,
And then we had the week leading up to the race,
which was the
which was
tough
the
week.
tough week
With the whole Raider thing, and by the way, none of this is excuses. I'm just trying to give you a background
of
of,
like
of
where your
what's going
mind
on
was
here
at
and
too.
trying to be totally transparent and totally honest. Um, we knew that Raider was getting close to dying,
We've known for he's slowed down a lot.
but
Yeah.
he got to the point where it was very difficult for him to even stand up. And what we really wanted to do, we knew that it was coming, but what we really wanted to do is get through Outlaw.
Mhm.
I mean, that was like 2 weeks before.
Right.
This is our thoughts.
Yeah.
But it got closer, and we're like, we're not gonna put him through Outlaw,
No,
and we didn't put him down
we
because Outlaw
didn't.
was
God,
coming
no.
up either.
God, no. I
It's
think people
just
who know us know that's not true.
it's just that he couldn't
He couldn't get up.
get up
He only
anymore.
he would only get up to go to the bathroom.
Mhm.
So he got up out of his bed maybe 4 times a day. He would
And
yeah,
sometimes we had to help
sometimes we
him.
had to help him. Sometimes he would get up and then his back legs would just give out. And if you know knew Raider, you know he didn't like help. Didn't he was very independent and you could just tell that there was a decline. And, he was having some incontinence and the Raider that everybody knows and loved wasn't there anymore. And he just wasn't living the life that he would have wanted to live.
Yeah. So, like, the last 2 weeks, that was our whole thoughts. It's like, what can we do best for Ray? And when should we do this? And when's the perfect time?
Mm,
And I will say, but without talking about that too much, that, um, it was the perfect time.
mhm,
Tuesday of that week
mhm.
was the perfect day to do it.
Yeah, he had a really good day with us
Yeah,
before
but
they came. Yeah.
but I feel like even 2 days later, he wouldn't even be able
Wouldn't
to
have been
stand
able to
up
stand up
anymore.
anymore. Yeah.
But so, the week leading up, even before the Tuesday, because we made the appointment on Monday, so obviously the last day was all about spending as much time with him as we could and
Giving him
making
steak
making the
and
most of
apples and
that. Yeah,
all
giving
the
him
foods.
giving him the best 24 hours. Like, we took him on a walk, but, I mean,
We carried
we
it,
carried him most of the time. We carried him to some grass, and which he loved being carried for his walk,
which is strange.
um, once he was unable to walk.
Once he couldn't walk
But
anymore. Yeah.
before that, walks were his favorite thing ever. But, yeah,
So
so that was leading up to it, and then we put him down on Tuesday, and, but even before the last 24 hours, it was kinda, like, all
in the back
about,
of my mind.
"Let's make the most of our time with Ray, let's make the most of our
Mhm.
time with Ray,"
Yeah.
and then, we put him down on Tuesday, race week,
We left
and
Thursday.
we didn't know if we were going
Mm-mm.
at that point.
No.
We made up our mind that day that we
Yeah.
put Ray down, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe even Wednesday.
It might have been the day. I don't know. But I mean, we put him down he was dead at about noon on Tuesday. And then we had from then until the evening to
Mhm.
kind of absorb that.
Mhm.
And then Wednesday, we had to get ready
We did. Yeah, we
to
did all
go,
of our packing and everything and sorting
which
Wednesday, which was
probably isn't ideal,
no.
and I don't know if it's what we should have done. And I don't know if we would have went if it wasn't that there was other people going for us,
Right.
you know?
Who had already made travel arrangements and stuff. I'm not saying that, like, we're blaming them for dragging us along there because that's not at
Of
all how it
course
went
not.
either. I don't
Yeah.
want it to sound like that either, but yeah, I mean, and I know, like, for myself, when I talked to Chase about it, I said, "I'm not the one that has to run, so it's not gonna be my decision." I like, for me, the being busy was helpful to me. 'Cause when we lost Winston, we had nothing going on, and I
Yeah.
just sat in my grief and just it got worse and worse and worse, and I was just miserable for a long time, and I knew that I needed to try something different this time. So I think that helped with, for me, having other things to focus on other than losing Ray.
Yeah. And I kinda tried to reframe it to be like,
Mhm.
"I'm gonna get it done despite all this, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah."
Mhm.
But I'm also not saying that this is the reason that I DNF'd,
No.
because ultimately it's not.
No.
I'm just trying to give you a background of what, the whole
Prep
experience
process
was.
was for us,
Yep.
yeah, every little we're gonna be honest.
But going in, my head wasn't really in it, like, my head was in it in the
Oh
months
my
leading
god.
up.
Yes.
That's all I wanted.
He had us
And going into it the last week, I don't know, didn't really care much anymore.
yeah,
Didn't care as much anymore.
yeah,
And I think that did reflect in my race, and it
and your attitude at
reflected
the
in the
race.
days leading up,
Mhm.
wasn't in a great mood. prior to the race. Wasn't in a great mood during the race, which I feel bad about because my crew's there with me, and I have a lot of regrets as far as that's concerned. But it's
Yeah.
just a tough deal.
Yeah, normally when Chase gets to us at an aid station, he's always happy and grateful, and you can tell he's having fun or not necessarily fun, but he's either competing or he's in the moment and then like grateful to be there. And there wasn't. Every time I saw him, he just looked meh. Here I am. Here's what I need. Here, take these bottles,
hmm That's
which was
true.
different.
Yep, for sure. So the race was muddy and
It,
rainy.
it was. So it's in like a dirt parking lot, and it started raining probably an hour and a half before the race started. I mean, it was raining
It was raining when we woke
when we
up. I
woke
mean, I have
up.
no idea when it
Yeah,
started.
yeah. And by the time we got there, all the good spots but one were taken. So we just grabbed whichever one was there and set our stuff up after Chase got started, which just happened to be the worst spot that there was. Everything drained.
Well, you were
I
close.
mean, we were really close. We had the perfect setup too. We had a pop-up with all of the sides on. We had space heaters and tables and chairs, and I was gonna just hang out with Miles in his little pop-up and just hang out all weekend and have fun. And it started pouring on his second lap, and a river ran through our spot. And so I had to put everything up. I had to put Miles in the car. We had to hide in the car because we were literally standing like water was above like the soles of my shoes. So I didn't get to hang outside very much,
Yeah.
which was less than ideal for me.
So tough on crew, tough on runners.
It
You
was.
know, the course is tough.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Super rocky. There's really no relief from the rocks.
Mhm.
There's a few easier sections and stuff like that. The elevation gain and stuff, no big deal as far as that's concerned, in my opinion. I think maybe some people who live in the Midwest and don't have an opportunity to
Mhm.
train on a lot of ups, I guess,
Yeah.
might feel otherwise. But I thought that was moderate.
Yeah, and well, elevation gain has never been a problem for you.
That's what I love,
That's your favorite
and that's one
part.
of the reasons I picked the course. And I love technical trails too. I like hard trails.
You
The
like
more I
hard
can turn
trails
them
for sure.
into a hike or a power hike, the better I am typically.
Yeah.
And so really, it was about the perfect course for me. I will say
Mhm.
that, and I never wished that it was easier or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, my favorite part was Anaconda, and that's probably the hardest part of the
Is that
course.
the steep, really rocky part?
hmm
Yeah.
but I think that Outlaw did a really good job with the new course. I would have liked to seen the old one as well, but
Mhm.
I know Justin went out and scouted that one, and he did a really good job with the videos leading up to it
He
as
did,
well.
yeah.
So props there. Um, the rain definitely made things tough. The rocks got slick, Um, your feet weren't wet, or I mean, weren't dry
Yeah.
ever.
I think you
So
made the first lap with your feet dry,
yeah, I was able to avoid it on the first lap, but then it really started coming down the
like
second lap,
dumping. Yeah.
and you're running through a river a lot of the time. So,
Mhm.
but my feet held up wonderfully,
You had
which was
no
my biggest weakness on the Triple Crown. Like my legs held up great for the Triple Crown, but my feet were fucked all the
They were
time.
awful. Blisters where you don't normally get them.
Yeah, and
Heat
just
rash. Yeah,
pain,
pain. Oh, like the deep pain. Mhm.
But I had such a better training season
Yeah, the ability to
for
have the
this
time
one
on feet.
and put in way more mileage, and I think that saved my feet, but my feet were wet the whole time.
Mhm.
I mean, I only went 65
65
miles,
miles.
but no problems
No, you
whatsoever.
did have a hot spot that we took care of,
And then it was
but
good.
then it was good. Yeah.
Yep. So I was worried about the feet being wet, but
Mhm.
turned out being a non-issue.
Mhm.
Um, First lap went well, way ahead of pace. Second lap was when kind of the monsoon happened.
You were still able to finish that ahead of schedule too.
Still able to finish that ahead of schedule, but just never felt great. Mind was not in it. Never felt like pushing myself that hard, even though I still had my goals and wanted to make those happen somehow.
Mhm.
It was just really difficult to reframe my mindset, and my body felt like shit, actually.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's like
The
a
power of the mind.
snowball effect
Yeah.
of the mind because we all know as ultra runners that your mind has so much to do with how your body feels.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone who has been totally trashed during 100, I mean, in any distance of race, and then, you got your last 2 miles and somehow you can run like a madman,
Mm-hmm.
knows that so much of it has to do with your mind. So
It does.
maybe that was it. I don't know. But in the end, what ultimately led to me dropping out of that race was because I was having what we believe are IT band issues, but they're issues that I've had in the past. Just I used to have it on my left leg, and
Mm-hmm.
now this was my right leg.
That's the reason you DNF'd Cocodona the second time.
Yep, yep. That's the reason I DNF'd Cocodona. So, and when I sat down, and finally called it, I didn't want to be there anymore either, for sure. And it was just like the perfect deal to be done.
Yeah.
But at
And
the same time, I didn't feel like it was possible for me to make those cutoffs with 65 more miles to go or 70 more miles to go,
with
and
your leg in that condition.
with my
Yeah.
leg in that condition. And when I got up, tried to get up to actually go sleep in the vehicle, I could not put any
Anyway.
weight on it whatsoever. Because it seems like you sit down with that with a bent knee and
Mm-hmm.
it gets way worse.
Yeah.
And then I got in the vehicle and I tried to sleep for an hour and I couldn't sleep at all because it was throbbing so bad. So Casey went and got me some ibuprofen. I popped a couple ibuprofen because I don't usually take them during the race because it's fucking terrible for you to do that.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Please.
And 30 minutes later, I was
Able to
feeling
fall
feeling
asleep.
better, and I got out of the vehicle about an hour and a half later to go talk to some people, JJ,
Mm-hmm.
and I walked on
Mm-hmm.
it.
But could
And
you have finished the race on it?
nobody knows. Probably
Right.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to think not. I sure hope not.
Yeah. Well, and even if you could have, you wouldn't have had time anyways anymore. But
All honesty, I think that I would have done more, tried more, if my mind would have been in it.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
you were ready to quit after your first lap with Roger. Like you picked
Mhm.
up Roger for the 4 mile and you're just like, I'm not gonna make the pace. I'm not gonna make the pace. I'm doing the math and the math ain't mathin'. And I was like, well, you're still ahead of like you've lost 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and you planned to be done 4 hours before the cutoff. And I was like, you're fine. You're not far behind.
Yeah.
But then like you did go out and do the 9 mile.
And
And
then the four. The
and
fours were
and the
my
4
knee.
is where your knee, the second time you had Roger on the 4 is where your knee started locking up.
Yeah. But that's it, there's a lot of questions about the whole deal, and my knee feels fine now.
Mhm.
My knee felt pretty good the day afterwards. So that leads to a lot of second guessing about my decision and things like that,
Mhm.
So
But in his defense, it was the exact same way after you DNF'd in Cocodona too, and then we found out you had like a slight tear
yeah,
in your knee.
MCL.
So
Yeah, you don't.
so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's tough.
Mhm.
I think I would have pushed myself a little further.
Out on the 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 would have been a tough one to go out and
Right.
figure it out, but
That's that's a tough choice to make. Like, if you get out there, how do they get you back if you physically can't get back?
Roger could have carried me. He's strong.
Shit. You'd have been pissed. There's not enough whiskey in the world for that.
Yeah. But that is the way it goes
For
when
sure.
you're trying to do really hard shit.
Yep.
And if you don't have a DNF, if you're an ultra runner and you don't have a DNF, just wait a while.
Just give yourself some time.
Try harder some races.
Do stuff you don't think you can do.
But it sucks. That doesn't take the sting out of it, and I absolutely hate DNFing. And
He's
it
been
sticks with me.
real grumpy pants.
Sticks with me for a while. I've been
Yeah.
drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well,
Don't worry about me.
he's fine.
Yeah.
But are you going to do what are you going to do for your knee?
I don't know.
Are you going to do the exercise, the physio stuff?
I'll do the same shit that I did for it last time, which solved it. You
Mhm.
know, going in the Triple Crown into Tahoe, I didn't know if my knee was going to hold up because it fucked up on me at about mile 60, 65 for like the 2 races prior to that.
Mhm.
And I did that, and it held up to the entire Triple Crown. I never felt it,
Yeah.
you know? So
Well,
I
it's
feel like this, I mean, this is the least amount of time that it's hurt after going to shit.
but you also stopped sooner.
I stopped sooner. Absolutely. Part of that is because aid stations are closer.
Right, yeah, like
You know,
yeah,
aid starts fucking up on you on a 200, and aid
I
station
have
might be 15 miles
15.
away still,
Yeah.
which is how it was for Coco Dog.
Mhm. That being said, you have Tahoe next, so we wanna make sure that you're
Yeah, Tahoe 200 in June.
that's
So
4
we're
months from
gonna
now.
go redeem ourselves at that one. And we're going back to Outlaw next year, and we're gonna do exactly what we set out to do this year.
I'll be
So
there with my pop-up and my yeah, and also for Miles, the poor guy, he had to just be in the car most of the time, so that wasn't very fun for him. He was pretty sad.
yeah,
Every time I went in the car to get out of the rain, he was looking at me like, "What are we doing? This is boring."
yeah. But I'm looking forward to going back next year.
Yep.
I'm already thinking about it. It's cool course. It's
Mhm.
hard, you know.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
You wanna
Got
talk
an idea what I'm dealing with.
Mhm. Do you wanna talk about your bracelet?
I have that wrote down here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, but I'll talk about that now. That's fine. On my second lap, I think is what it was. Uh,
Stacy Parsons pretty.
Stacy Parsons Pretty, who we've met at one of our, we met her at Fred
Mhm, she ran Fred.
the first year.
Mhm. 2nd. Yeah, yeah, 1st year.
First year. Yeah. She gave me this bracelet
Friendship bracelet.
that says Raider on it. I don't know if you can see it there,
No.
but it was awesome. It was absolutely the highlight of my race because I was
Mhm.
a real poopy pants. But that, like, I can literally say that when I left that aid station for about the next 3 or 4 miles, I was very happy, and it made me a little bit emotional that she gave me that.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Yeah, you also ran with his name tag on your pack.
I did. I tried to reframe the whole thing for that reason, but my
It just
mind
didn't
was,
work.
yeah, was rejecting it. Here's the deal. I don't think that Raider can see what I'm doing anyway, and I'm not
Right.
going to get into that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't care what you think. Think whatever you want. But even if he can, he does not give a shit about ultra running. I know Raider.
No, he's the most selfish dog you would
Yeah.
ever meet in your life. So
Eh,
you would give 2 shits if you wore his name tag in honor of him.
Yeah, yeah, or if I dedicated a race to him or anything
You'd be
like
like,
that, he'd
"Whatever."
just be mad at me for being out there without him.
For sure.
Let's talk about thoughts on the race.
Yeah.
I thought the race was fantastic,
Mhm.
and I want to give all the props in the world to the Outlaw organization. This is
Mhm.
the second race that I've ran with Outlaw. The first one was the Flat Rock 100.
101.
Yeah, the 100 miler
Mhm.
though.
Mhm.
And
Was
it was really good as well. Both really tough courses. So I'd like to thank Alicia and Jeff and Justin. I know Justin does a ton of work for them.
Mhm.
And like I said, he did a really good job
Mhm.
leading up to this deal. He was out there. I never got to talk to him though. I mean, there's a lot of people that I just never saw out there.
Wasn't that crazy with such a short course?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many I never saw.
Mhm.
I'd like to give a big congratulations to John Bloodworth. He was the right Bloodworth.
Mhm. Yep.
He was the only guy to get it done. I did get a chance to talk to him for maybe a minute or two,
Mhm.
and I can't even remember what we talked about. But I mean, if you get through that race, then you're badass in my eyes for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
And obviously had a super gritty performance. I think he came in less than 10 minutes before the 48-hour cutoff, so he had to be pushing himself.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
badass, John.
Congratulations, John.
Congratulations, man. And I think that tells you a little bit something about the course. Isaac was the only guy to finish it in year one. He
Mhm.
did DNF this year,
Mhm.
and then John's the only guy to finish it in year two. So there's 2 years with this course and two finishers,
Yeah.
which is another thing that makes me really want to
Yeah.
go back.
Well, it's crazy because the 135 miler has the same cutoff as the 100-hour.
Yeah, which makes it tough. Yeah,
Does.
makes
Which
it
is
tough.
that's great.
Big congratulations to Blaine and Ed, our Bucklehead friends.
Yes.
They
and getting the 100 done in like
gritted
over
it
2
out in the
hours or
100.
something.
Yeah, gritted it out in the 100. So congratulations, guys.
And you're welcome for Chase dropping and allowing you to have his pacer, JJ.
Yep. Yeah. Apologies to JJ
Yeah.
for he literally flew in to pace me, but
Yeah. He made a good road trip out of it. Looks like he posted an Instagram reel today. It looked like they had fun.
JJ has fun
Sightseeing.
wherever he
He
goes. He's the
does.
most positive guy
does.
that I've ever met. I need some of his
You need to
juju.
steal some of his juju.
Yeah.
JJ send some juju.
Yep. What else?
The volunteers. I know Chase doesn't ever really use aid stations, but those volunteers did not have an easy weekend either. I saw pictures from where Stacy was at, and they were standing in inches of mud at the aid station. And then Jill and Dylan were also in the mud too.
Yep.
And working their butts off. So thank you, volunteers, for being there.
Jill and Dylan. I didn't really get to talk to you guys, and I apologize for that. Like Casey said, I just don't use the aid stations very much. But yeah, that I said that I was actually talking to Alicia earlier today because she messaged me to check on me to make sure I was all right, which was very nice of her. And I said that from a race director's perspective, I know that a lot of the runners are like, oh, these conditions, they're tough. But they're also tough for race directors. They're tough for volunteers.
You're timing
it
people.
sucks,
Yes, it's awful.
for everyone. So props on to them for handling that wonderfully.
Thank you to Roger for pacing Chase when he was super dumpy and super fun to be around, I'm sure.
Well, Roger's always fun to be around.
Yeah.
So.
And, Steph was out there too to help you, but she didn't get the chance.
Yep.
So she lucked out. She wouldn't have liked the course.
Yeah. And Roger was actually originally out there not to pace me, to pace Jonathan Prosser, who unfortunately fell and broke a rib on the second loop. And I actually came up on him right after that happened. So wishing you the best, JP, and healing for that. I know for like going into this race, like I said, I was coming for the win. That's what I wanted to do. And I'm like, I felt JP was my
biggest competition.
main guy. And I felt really
bad for him. Yeah, that's not the way that you want to go. But I mean, you end up getting injured too. So
let's get after it next year, JP.
You guys can fist fight for it.
He's all bigger than me. Big reach advantage.
Yeah, I think next year I'm going to do some stuff different. We're going to maybe set up the night before. That would be easier for me.
We're going to have a camper next year. We're going out with a camper.
Yeah. It'll be
it was a 40-minute drive for us that morning, too.
Because I didn't want to sleep in a hotel that the latest review mentioned cockroaches. So, couldn't do it. So, I had to...
JJ did it.
JJ did it the night. He said it was pretty clean. He said it was pretty clean.
Yeah, JJ's like the most positive guy ever.
If you can turn a cockroach hotel into pretty clean.
We stayed at a hotel that I'd say was... Yeah. And he would... he said it was really nice.
Maybe he was just trying to be polite.
Well, I just wish that I had his attitude. Possible slam. We talked to Alicia about it. We might have a Pure Hell 140 Outlaw 135 slam. Probably not happening. I mean,
it could happen this year.
Probably,
why not?
Maybe happening this year. Who knows?
See if you were
possibly
so John. If you
John Bloodworth, you're the only one eligible.
Want to do the Pure Hell 140?
Yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot of people eligible after Outlaw, which is kind of freaking cool though, Yeah. But because we were talking, those are the two toughest races in the Midwest. There's just no doubt about it.
No, for sure.
All I know is if you do them both, you're a stud. We're gonna come up with a badass buckle for it. I'm assuming.
Some sort of award, yes.
Yeah.
She talked about Jeff making something.
Yeah. That would be awesome,
too. He makes the Outlaw Awards, I believe.
Oh, does he? Cool. Very nice. Let's do a discount code.
Okay.
Let's do it for Terminus.
Great.
So this is the first time we've ever had a discount code for one of our supplements. This is going to be good for anyone who, we'll just make it for anyone. Fuck it.
Even oldies?
Yeah, even oldies. Sometimes we do new customers only, but sometimes I feel like that's bullshit too, because like you should reward the loyal people more than them.
Sounds good.
50% off
Wow.
Sorry.
One? How many people?
One. Just one terminus per person. What do you think?
How many people?
How about 20 people?
Okie dokie.
Is that all right?
Yep.
Discount code terminus 50. All lowercase. Terminus
50.
50. Figure it out.
Figure out how to use it, sucka.
I ain't in the mood to hold your hand.
Oh my god. We are not in the customer service business.
That's right.
I think I told that to Alicia last weekend too.
Why?
We were just saying funny emails that we get from renters and stuff, and we're like, yeah, we're not in the customer service business anymore.
Yeah.
We have some fun announcements.
Yeah, let's do them. You go ahead, hon.
The Sticks is sold out.
First time ever, someone heard about our little race in the Sticks in Kansas.
Yes, which is amazing. Sold out of 75 runners.
The secret's out, though.
We've got like 5 on the wait list.
Jump on there and you'll get in.
We'll let you in eventually. We haven't even hit the first deferral deadline for that race. So.
I'm not going to say this anywhere else but on the podcast, but Kenny doesn't limit the amount of people that we have at the Sticks, but we want it to be small.
Small vibes.
We want it to be small.
Yeah.
It's their land and they're cool with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get in the order that you're on the wait list.
Yes.
But if we get down to the wire and there's, say, 3 people on the wait list, we're just going to clear the bitch. If there's 15, 20 people on the wait list, then no, we're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
So get on the wait list early. We have to cut it off at some point. Right now it's 75. Like I said, if there's a few people on, we might go 80, but we probably won't go any more than that.
No.
Because, like I said, we like it to be small.
Yep.
Garmin Olathe Marathon.
And the Land of Oz.
Proxima C Endurance Fuel is going to be the official
fuel
for the Garmin Olathe Marathon.
Olathe. Yeah. We're really
Kansas
excited.
City area.
It's a really big opportunity for us, and we're so glad that they went with the little guys for that. So
we really appreciate that, giving us the chance for that. Shout out to Kelly Force, who I think was the main reason that was able to happen.
Yes.
So we're pumped.
We're going to be there.
We will be there.
So if you're going to be there, come find us.
Yep. The ED wait list. So yesterday was the first deferral deadline for Eternal Damnation.
Correct.
And we basically cleared the wait list.
We have 1 person left on the wait list.
And they're going to get it. So jump in there. We're going to get a lot more deferrals at the second.
Yes.
50% deferral deadline. Do. So jump in there. I could see us definitely going through at least 10, 15 more spots.
I know of at least 1 more person who's going to be doing the slam. So that will also open up another spot.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jeff and Emily Reese sent us pictures, and they have cleared the rocks there.
The asphalt. The big chunks of asphalt are gone.
So there's more room.
There's more room.
So if we get, we're maybe treat this kind of like the Sticks, and we weren't planning on this unless the rocks were cleared. But if there's 3 or 4 people left on there, we'll just clear that shit, at the end as well. Because we have so much room right around the start-finish line.
Where we can set up all the crew areas. So it's perfect.
At the very least, everyone's going to have a better spot. Because nobody's going to have to be as far away because all the spots closest
can go wider. Yeah, for sure.
Next week's podcast will be Proxima C Part 1 podcast. We're going to split it into 2 different podcasts because I kind of ran through what I had already. And Casey always says I'm an over-explainer when it comes to these things.
You are.
But I think people want to
hear it, but then they don't want you to talk for 2 hours straight.
No, 2 hours straight. Yeah, that's extreme. But it's probably going to be 2 1-hour podcasts.
Which is fine,
to be honest,
can have a week off.
Yeah. And it's going to be about Proxima C. We're going to dive deep into that. Why we picked every ingredient that we did, the research on fueling as it pertains to ultra endurance sports, because it's different than typical endurance stuff like 13 miles and even marathons. It is different. And I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to compare it to other products out there, and we're just going to go balls deep on it. Balls deep? That's not appropriate.
It's definitely not appropriate. I apologize for Chase.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
He's already had like 5 whiskeys.
That's not true. 6.
6. Don't short him.
Don't short me.
God.
What else? And we're planning on getting with Ken and Kim soon, which I think is going to probably be our most popular podcast ever.
They are the
Because most
superstar.
people like them more than they like us. Understandably so. They are the best. I don't even know if you can call them volunteers. You know, they're such a
they're an integral part
they're
of
a
our races.
pillar of
They are.
Ultraverse supplements. So
For sure.
and
they didn't
so
want to be on the
lucky to have 'em.
podcast earlier, but now we're removing the choice.
We don't give a shit if they
Yeah.
want to be on it. They're going to be on
Yeah, thanks, guys.
it.
But I think that's it.
Yeah. Also, that's the other thing. I would like to thank Ken and Kim for coming to Outlaw as well.
Yes.
Sorry that things didn't go our way, and sorry I wasn't necessarily the most fun runner too.
Dad did get to play with your feet, so
Yeah.
Dr. Ken Carter has struck again.
Yeah, he didn't have to tape any unmentionables this time, so that's that's a good deal for him.
Sure, he was super disappointed in that.
Yeah, I'd like to say cheers to Raiderbug.
Cheers to
My
Raiderbug.
best friend.
We miss him all the time. Thanks, guys. See you next time.